Welcome to Hong Kong Free Press's live feed of the 30th anniversary of the Tiananmen Square Massacre. We will be broadcasting the mass candlelight vigil at Hong Kong's Victoria Park. Please stay with us. Welcome to Hong Kong Free Press's live feed of the 30th anniversary of the Tiananmen Square Massacre. We will soon be broadcasting the mass candlelight vigil at Hong Kong's Victoria Park, which is a well-known annual event, beginning at 8 p.m. local time. So please stay with us.
其實一樣嘢好簡單，我哋每個人都可以做嘅。喺6月4號嘅時候，我哋仍然係記住呢段血嘅歷史，記住呢段曾經發生過，我哋香港人都係積極參與過嘅一場民主運動。參與一場民主運動，我哋需要激情去到投入去到，但係更重要嘅係我哋需要長久嘅堅持。所以30年對於我哋嚟講唔係一個句號，我哋會繼續堅持落去，直至6·4平反，直至結束一黨專政。
我哋唔能夠忘記呢一段血染嘅歷史。接住落嚟，我哋一齊唱《血染的風采》。
啱啱嚟到維園嘅市民，感謝你。今晚我哋再一次喺維園點起蠟燭，悼念1989年被槍炮坦克奪去生命嘅英靈。維園嘅燭光將會照耀整個中國大陸，照耀整個世界，話俾國際社會知，香港人係冇忘記過呢一段血嘅歷史。我哋一定會繼續堅持落去。維園嘅燭光亦都係帶俾中國內地維權人士同埋天安門母親群體好大嘅鼓勵。喺冰冷嘅內地，唔能夠公開點起燭光祭祀死去嘅親人。每一年維園嘅燭光就係帶俾內地維權人士同埋天安門母親群體好大嘅力量。
喺呢個時候，雖然集會仲未正式咁開始，咁但係我哋見到好多嘅朋友已經嚟到維園呢度。你哋仲可以係仲有時間，就趁呢個時候就可以聯絡你哋嘅朋友，叫多啲人嚟維園呢度參加今晚嘅悼念集會。
啱啱嚟到維園嘅朋友，如果未攞到長康嘅話呢，都可以喺我哋兩邊入口啦，有 QR code 可以下載電子長康。除此之外啦，都可以去我哋秘書處度攞到長康，同埋可以向我哋嘅工作人員度攞到洋燭㗎。咁今日啦，較早時間啦都落過一陣嘅驟雨啦，咁希望大家小心啲。咁佢話場地有啲濕滑嘅話呢，就要照顧下身邊嘅長者同埋小朋友。
幾個鐘頭前呢，其實港島區係落住大雨嘅，但係我諗我哋依家嚟到維園嘅市民，當時都係喺度諗，無論幾大雨、幾大風都好，我哋今晚都一定會嚟到維園點起燭光。今晚嘅燭光係代表良知、代表人性。我哋呢一個民主路已經堅持咗30年啦，我哋一定會繼續堅持落去。
我哋見到在場嘅朋友，可能因為天雨嘅關係，唔能夠好似往常咁樣坐喺維園呢度點起燭光。我見到啲朋友係企喺度嘅，但係咁樣正正話俾我哋聽，即使今日係有機會會落雨，我哋唔能夠好似往常咁舒適坐喺呢個維園嘅地方。我哋必須要企喺度，可能企2個鐘頭，但係我哋唔會因為咁樣而退卻。
每一年都有一啲建制派、保皇黨同我哋講要放低6·4包袱，但嚟得維園嘅朋友，你一定好知道6·4呢件事根本係未解決過。支聯會嘅5大綱領當然係未實現啦。咁而中共對異見人士、對當年學運領袖嘅打壓。
So welcome to Hong Kong Free Press's live feed of the 30th anniversary of the Tiananmen Square Massacre. We've just had Twitter followers joining us, so we will soon be broadcasting the mass candlelight vigil at Hong Kong's Victoria Park tonight, beginning at 8 p.m. So please do stay with us.
政治局勢日趨惡劣，林鄭政府強推呢個 有朋友同我講話擔心日後假如呢個送中惡法通過咗之後呢，唔知能唔能夠公開悼念六四，因為驚呢喺香港點起燭光，嗌幾句口號都有機會要送返大陸受審，甚至坐監。香港作為中共治下唯一一個呢暫時仲能夠公開悼念六四嘅地方，我哋一定要繼續珍惜我哋呢個自由。面對住林鄭強推送中惡法，我哋香港人一定要企出嚟。嚟緊今個禮拜日6月9號禮拜日，民陣將會舉辦守護香港反送中大遊行，2點半喺銅鑼灣集合，3點起步。我哋一步一腳印遊行去到金鐘立法會。呢一場一定係硬仗，因為林鄭月娥呢已經係唔要面，佢已經唔理任何嘅反對聲音啦。本地嘅反對聲音唔理，國際社會、國際商會佢又唔理，佢就係為咗強推呢個送中惡法。所以我哋香港人為咗守護我哋嘅自由，守護我哋嘅自由空間，我哋今個禮拜日6月9號一定要上街。6月9號2點半喺銅鑼灣集合，遊行去到金鐘嘅立法會。
香港人30年以嚟一直堅持無忘六四，每一年都嚟到維園呢度舉起燭光。但係一旦通過咗逃犯條例嘅修訂，將來任何悼念六四嘅活動，將來任何討論譴責中共政權，隨時都會變成所謂嘅危害國家安全，被引導返去內地受審。但係我哋燃點起燭光嘅權利唔能夠被剝奪，我哋延續89民運嘅學生同埋市民嘅信念唔能夠被剝奪。今日我哋依舊風雨無阻咁樣嚟到呢度，再一次舉起燭光，抵抗中共。
反送中，
反送中，
撤惡法，
撤惡法，
反送中，
反送中，
撤惡法，
撤惡法。
So welcome to Hong Kong Free Press's live feed of the 30th anniversary of the Tiananmen Square Massacre. We are now broadcasting from the mass candlelight vigil at Hong Kong's Victoria Park, which is a very well-known annual event, which will begin officially at 8 p.m. local time. The 1989 massacre by troops from the People's Liberation Army ended months of protests across China calling for democracy. Student demonstrations had begun in April 1989 with the funeral of reformist Communist Party leader Hu Yaobang. And after martial law was declared in May, troops moved into Beijing on the night of June 3rd, clearing out the protests by force. It is estimated that hundreds, if not thousands, lay dead, and activists were either arrested or fled overseas. The vigil is right now singing the song called Bloodstained Glory, a mainline Chinese Mandarin song dating from before 1989, written for soldiers in the Sino-Vietnam War of 1979. But in 1989, this song took a new meaning with its references to the blood-stained flag of the People's Republic of China. It's often said that Hong Kong is the only place in Chinese territory that can publicly commemorate the massacre, although a smaller annual vigil also takes place in Macau. But tonight's vigil at the 6 concrete football pitches in Victoria Park in Causeway Bay is widely recognized to be the main event. And As with previous years, the rundown of the event consists of ceremonies for the dead, speeches and videos with survivors, and the singing of protest songs like this one, Bloodstained Glory. In recent years, however, the turnout for the vigil appears to have fallen from a high of 180,000 people in 2014, which was the year of the Umbrella Movement street protests, of course, to 115,000 last year, according to the organizers. But nevertheless, given that it's the 30th anniversary of the Tiananmen Square massacre, a much larger crowd tonight would not be surprising. And of course, for Hong Kong, this anniversary comes at a particularly sensitive time, because in February, the government proposed to amend existing extradition laws to allow the transfer of suspects from Hong Kong to jurisdictions including mainland China, where human rights abuses and detentions without trial are quite commonplace. Many Hong Kongers fear that this extradition bill would be used as a backdoor for the transfer of political activists and others to mainland China, thereby endangering rights and freedoms in the city. And protests and online petitions against the extradition bill have taken place for several months, with a large protest planned for June 9th. And of course, these developments are expected to boost turnout at the Tiananmen Massacre vigil tonight. The anniversary also comes at a time of increased international tensions involving China. On Monday, U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo spoke of Washington's lost hopes that China's integration as a global economy would bring about progress in human rights. But when questioned about the massacre last week in Singapore, the Chinese defense minister defended Beijing's actions as the correct policy because China has enjoyed stability and development since 1989. The vigil is now calling for the shelving of the extradition bill proposed by the Hong Kong government in February, as explained earlier. And every year leading up to the June 4th anniversary, there is a reported increase in internet censorship, and activists such as the Tiananmen Mothers Group, who will be speaking tonight, are placed under surveillance, house arrest, or even removed from the city of Beijing. And this year, censorship and repression of commemorative activities appears to be particularly severe. For instance, with a large number of Twitter accounts critical of China suspended last week. And of course, Twitter denied that these were reported by the Chinese authorities and apologized. And earlier, there were also counter-protests supporting the June 4th military crackdown outside the Victoria Park event. This annual vigil is organized by the Hong Kong Alliance in support of patriotic democratic movements in China, which is a group founded in May 1989 upon Beijing's declaration of martial law. This April, the Alliance made a breakthrough in setting up its second ever June 4th museum in a Mong Kok commercial building after its first June 4th museum was closed down 3 years ago after the property owners filed lawsuits. but with a decreasing number of young Hong Kongers identifying with China, or as Chinese. Some young people have made a point of avoiding the Alliance's events, which emphasizes patriotism and explicitly aims to promote democracy in China. So tonight, an alternative vigil is also being held across the harbor at Tsim Sha Tsui. And that alternative vigil is led by young activist Michael Mo. And it will feature, among others, bookseller Lam Wing-Ki speaking via video. Of course, Lam fled to Taiwan in April because he was fearful of the impending extradition law that might see him transferred back to the mainland. So we'll now tune into the vigil in Victoria Park. The ceremony will begin with a video for the 30th anniversary of the Tiananmen Square Massacre at 8 p.m. Right now they are singing the protest song Democracy Will Prevail.
萬劫不改的眼光，拿着大鮮血最壯，用最好看的筆告狀。我插下和平旗幟，我只戰成為號角，狼與化互勇於四方。民主會戰勝歸來，民主會戰勝歸來，白髮斑斑情義深似海。若花石仍殘存着愛，一刻霸佔的青苔，普天蓋蓋不住世代。民主會戰勝歸來，民主會戰勝歸來，後有巨浪承接這變改。若世上仍流傳着愛，即使軟禁鬥室內，我自由與天地同在。民主會戰勝歸來，民主會戰勝歸來，白髮斑斑情義深似海。若世上仍流傳着愛，一刻霸佔的青苔，普天蓋蓋不住世代。民主會戰勝歸來，民主會戰勝歸來，後有巨浪承接這變改。若世上仍流傳着愛，即使軟禁鬥室內，我自由與天地同在，我自由與生命同在。
That was the protest song Democracy Will Prevail. It's a relatively new song from 2012. The candlelight vigil is about to begin, and right now they will sing the classic 1989 song For Freedom. That was on the Hong Kong charts. And it was a supergroup by many Hong Kong artists to support the Tiananmen Square protesters at the time.
喺北京天安門廣場播放嘅廣東話民運歌曲，呢首歌我哋唱咗30年，民主路我哋繼續堅持落去。 吶喊正氣滿心間，奮勇創出新領域，拼命踏前路，茫茫長途憑傲氣，你我永遠兩手牽，去向中荊棘滿路，似熱汗卻未淚，似熱血卻未退，愛自由，愛自由，為自由，為自由，你我齊奮鬥進取，手牽手揮不去，揮不住，擋不了，擋不了，壯志澎湃滿世間，要千山，能能無限全大志，能能正氣滿心間，奮勇創出新領域，拼命踏前路，茫茫長途憑傲氣，你我永遠兩手牽，去向中荊棘滿路，似熱汗卻未淚，似熱血卻未退，愛自由，愛自由，為自由，為自由，你我齊奮鬥進取，手牽手揮不去，揮不住，擋不了。
So welcome to Hong Kong Free Press's live feed of the 30th anniversary of the Tiananmen Square Massacre. Right now they are singing the classic protest song For Freedom that was released in 1989. It's about to begin at 8 p.m. local time, so please stay with us.
釋放民運人士，
釋放民運人士，
平反89民運，
平反89民運，
追究屠城責任，
追究屠城責任，
結束一黨專政，
結束一黨專政，
建設民主中國，
建設民主中國，
人民不會忘記，
人民不會忘記，
平反六四，
平反六四，
公義必勝，
公義必勝。
大會即將開始啦。啱啱嚟到嘅市民可以遵照住現場工作人員嘅指示，慢慢步入場區。
這個數嘅 VIP。
大家無謂就住個別一兩個事件究竟喺唔喺裏邊呢？
So welcome to Hong Kong Free Press's live feed of the 30th anniversary of the Tiananmen Square Massacre. The Victoria Park candlelight vigil is about to begin, and it will begin with a video by the Hong Kong Alliance, the organizers, for the 30th anniversary of June 4th.
有人看着你，为你祝福。我曾经和你有一样的脸庞。如今这个广场是我的坟墓，这个歌声将来是你的挽歌。你会被教育成一个快乐。是不就吃喝拉撒的动物？
们很年轻啊，同学们啊，很年轻，来日方长。
This right now is a video by the Hong Kong Alliance for the 30th anniversary of June 4th. It's recounting the events of 30 years ago, the student protests leading up to the massacre. Welcome to Hong Kong Free Press's live feed of the 30th anniversary of the Tiananmen Square Massacre. Right now, a video is being shown by the organizers of the Victoria Park Vigil for the 30th anniversary, and it shows many of the developments in the democratic movements in China and Hong Kong over the years, such as the protests against Article 23, such as the Umbrella Movement in 2014.
由香港市民支援愛國民主運動聯合會主辦六四國殤30週年燭光悼念集會，現在開始。
The 30th June 4th commemoration now begins.
今晚係我哋第30年集合喺維園球場悼念1989年被槍炮、坦克奪去性命嘅英靈。
請支聯會常委聯同年輕人代表香港市民向民主烈士永垂不朽紀念碑獻花，向為爭取民主自由而無辜被中共殺害嘅學生同市民致哀。
請全體肅立，面向民主烈士永垂不朽紀念碑。
請全體肅立，面向民主烈士永垂不朽紀念。
So students and the Hong Kong Alliance, the co-organizers of this vigil, will now lay a wreath of flowers to a pillar of remembrance erected at the center of the 6 football courts at Victoria Park. At the front, you see students as well as the organizers, the co-organizers, the Hong Kong Alliance's chairperson Albert Ho, and at the back, the the Secretary Lee Cheuk-yan of the Hong Kong Alliance. They are now going to lay a wreath to a pillar of remembrance for the deceased of the Tiananmen Square massacre. This is always a very solemn part of the ceremony. On both sides of the wreath of flowers, it says the theme for tonight's candlelit vigil: the people will not forget, vindicate June 4th, justice will prevail. So just to recap, this is Hong Kong Free Press's live feed of the mass candlelit vigil at Victoria Park for the 30th anniversary of the Tiananmen Square massacre. The organizers, the Hong Kong Alliance, has just played a video of prepared for the 30th anniversary, and they are now laying a wreath of flowers to a pillar of remembrance erected at the center of the 6 football courts in Victoria Park. In recent years, the turnout for this mass candlelit vigil has somewhat fallen from a high of 180,000 people in 2014 to only 115,000 last year, according to the organizers. But given that it's the 30th anniversary of the massacre, and in the context of the proposed extradition law, these developments are expected to boost turnout tonight.
無望為爭取中國民主犧牲嘅死難烈士，全體肅立，面向民主烈士永垂不朽紀念碑，向六四殉難同胞。
The organizers are calling for the people at the mass candlelit vigil to stand up, face the pillar of remembrance, and bow 3 times for the dead.
献给真正的人民英雄，愿你们在天之灵得以安息，愿民主自由。
The pillar of remembrance reads, "The martyrs for democracy will live on forever." It's a temporary pillar erected at the center of the 6 football courts in Victoria Park, Hong Kong, and judging from live reports, they seem pretty full tonight. The many developments are expected to boost turnout.
我哋再向6四殉難同胞行3鞠躬禮，1鞠躬，再鞠躬，3鞠躬。
Attendees at the mass vigil are
請全體
giving a ceremony of
面向
bowing 3
舞台。
times to the pillar of remembrance for the victims of the Tiananmen Square massacre. The Victoria Park does indeed seem like there has been a greater number of attendees this year compared to previous years. The students and the leaders of the Hong Kong Alliance are now returning to the main stage, where they will light a flame of remembrance for the deceased of the Tiananmen Square massacre again. This is always considered to be probably the more solemn part of the ceremony annually at Victoria Park each year. The students and the Hong Kong Alliance are now going to light a flame of remembrance at the main stage of the Victoria Park candlelit vigil.
會主席何俊仁聯同年輕人共同燃起自由民主嘅火炬。
燃點火炬。
後，令我獨行恨，就算未如願，愛之仍在手。
So this is the Hong Kong Alliance lighting the flame of remembrance, or the flame of democracy and freedom, to remember the martyrs of the Tiananmen Square massacre. And what you're listening to right now is an ancient martial arts song called Paying Respect to the Martyrs that has been fitted with new lyrics in the aftermath of June 4th, 1989.
人民不會忘記，
人民不會忘記，
平反六四，
平反六四，
公義必勝，
公義必勝，
無忘六四，
無忘六四，
薪火相傳。
The organizers are calling for the vindication of June 4th, that the people will never forget, and that justice will prevail.
"致悼詞，請支聯會副主席周幸彤。
致悼詞，請支聯會副主席周幸彤。
May we now
The-
invite the Vice Chairperson of Hong Kong Alliance, Chow Han Tong, to deliver an eulogy.
悼詞，30年前嘅4月中，
30 years
你
ago,
同埋同學們
in mid-April,
由校門出發，行過半個北京，
students
公然
left
反對
universities
黨部嘅定
and
調，
went through half of Beijing
讓世
to
界
protest
睇
against
見
the
咗
government
唔
and
願意
allowed
做順民嘅中國人。
and allows the world to see how the Chinese
30
people
年
can
前
struggle
嘅
and
5月
resist.
天，你同埋鄰居
30 years ago, in May,
想要入城嘅軍車前面，用肉身
neighbors
擋住佢哋嘅
and
行
yourselves blocked the roads from
去說服
troops
車上嘅士兵，讓
in
世
Beijing
界見到
and allowed the world
同
to see what was called love and what is called courage.
年前嘅6月夜，
30 years ago, on a night in
你
June,
父母帶住相機，
you didn't let your parents know.
窗戶離家，
You took your camera
奔風暴嘅中心，
and went to the center
以你嘅
of
生命
the storm
記錄步行，
and used and sacrificed your life
睇見咩叫做對真相嘅執着。
and showed the world what it is to seek the truth.
喺機槍下，
And under the fire of machine guns
你
and
哋嘅
tanks,
生命戛然而止。我哋甚至
your lives ended
知道你哋嘅名字。
so quickly that we didn't even have the time to learn your
但你哋
names.
開始嘅革命，
But the revolution that you started
你哋留
has
下嘅
not
火種
yet ended.
仍然照耀在後來者嘅路途。
The flames that you have left lighten the way for
記住咗
a new generation.
嘅惡， 我哋否認殺人嘅政權，譴責當局嘅暴行，誓要為
We
你哋
condemn
討回一個公道，
the brutality of the authorities,
更加願意
and we wish
記
for
住你哋嘅
justice.
好
And we also wish to remember
你哋嘅
how good you were,
付出，你哋嘅
how much
勇
you
氣
sacrificed,
同埋堅持，
and your bravery
記住
and
那年初
your resistance.
因着你哋變得唔同咗嘅世界，
Because of you, in
然後
the beginning of summer in 1989, the world became a different place,
你哋
and we
開始
wish
咗反抗，
to carry on your
30
struggle.
年嚟繼續啟發着國內國外嘅各個抗爭。你哋展現嘅愛同埋和平，
The love and peace that you have shown for the past 30 years lightened up the resistance both outside and inside China
拼死
and became a greater energy for everybody.
30年嚟，亦都成為我哋嘅堅持，成為咗維園嘅點點燭光，成為
And your
咗
spirit has carried on
讓
by
權者
the candlelit flames
嘅威脅，
around Victoria Park tonight, and is demonstrated by how the authorities are not safe.
仍活着，活喺今晚維園入邊
You all still live,
嘅每一
and you all
盞燭
still
光入
live
邊
in each of the candles that have been lit up tonight at Victoria Park,
嘅每一次嘅反抗中間，
and your spirit lives on with every single
每一個
movement, every single
在
resistant
追求民
movement
主嘅人嘅
on
心
this
中
land, and your spirit lives on in the hearts of
不朽。
every single person wishing for democracy.
而家默哀1分鐘。
A minute's silence will now be held
Let us now
for
stand in tribute for a minute.
for the victims of the Tiananmen Square massacre.
.默哀完畢，請坐。
So just now a minute of silence for the victims of the Tiananmen Square massacre has just been completed. And next up is a video speech by Zhang Xianling, a co-initiator of the Tiananmen Square of the Tiananmen Mothers Group.
親群體由6·4死難者家屬同埋6·4傷殘者組成，一直四出搜集資料。
The Tiananmen Mothers Group is a group of parents whose children passed away in the massacre, and they call for vindication of democracy movement. As for the next speaker, Zhang herself, who's speaking by video, she lost her 19-year-old son on the night of June 3rd, and as usual, with every leading up to each June 4th, they are usually under surveillance or house arrest or even removed from the city of Beijing for a so-called holiday. So, Ms. Zhang will now speak on video.
尊敬的香港同胞们，尊敬的历年从世界各地来到维园参加烛光晚会的
come to participate in the annual Victoria Park Vigil. On behalf of the Tiananmen Mothers, we would like to convey our deepest respect and heartfelt thanks to you. For the past 30 years, the candlelight of Victoria Park has accompanied the Tiananmen Mothers along the rocky road and warmed our hearts. It's been 30 years since the Tiananmen Square massacre, but the blood of that night, the fierce gunfire over Beijing, the rampaging tanks, the shuttling ambulances, the overwhelming commotion, the fearless citizens who, in the face of death, protected students by blocking up the martial troops and the last aching images of loved ones. We remember it all so vividly, deeply engraved in our hearts and minds. The grief threatened to crush us, but it has now transformed into our motivation to fight for justice. In that peaceful period, the People's Liberation Army massacred the citizens and students who are protesting against corruption. The tragedy of the massacre. These executioners will be condemned forever in history. And this can never be erased by using excuses such as political incidents, riots, or turmoil, and it's not a valid reason to command the massacre of citizens. This is a bloody fact that can never be covered up. Over these 30 years, the Tiananmen Mothers defied the political reins, traveled to work ahead, tracing the tracks of all victims to make the government pay for its crimes, to speak the truth and never forget, to appeal to conscience and pursue justice. In these 30 years, we only confirmed a small number of victims, but it's concrete evidence that June 4th was a massacre. The party and the state commanded the army, large numbers of troops and tanks, soldiers with full ammunition, to kill and slaughter unarmed citizens and students in China's capital. What were they doing? It shows blatant disregard for human life, all done by the National Army. This is commanded by the People's Republic of China. This was a crime committed by the country. For 30 years, the Tiananmen Mothers have complied with the rule of law rationally, insisting on free claims, truth, compensation, and accountability. We have endeavored to establish a dialogue with the government, but the authorities have refused to reply, and they proclaimed that this party and state has made a conclusion to deceive us of their wrongdoings. This was a tragedy witnessed by the entire world, and the leading officers of the state cannot obliterate the truth. History proves that the truth will eventually defeat lies, and justice will defeat evil. 56 of us Tiananmen Mothers have already left, but we, the survivors, will continue to bear the responsibility from deceased, no matter how difficult it will be. We continue to do our best and press forward. Thank you, Hong Kong citizens and friends, for your support. Tiananmen Mothers, 4th June, 2019. That was Zhang Xianling, one of the co-organizers of the Tiananmen Mothers group, a group of mothers in mainland China whose children died in the Tiananmen Square massacre. She lost her 19-year-old son on the night of June 3rd, 1989. The Hong Kong Alliance is speaking about the breakthrough that it made this April when it set up its second ever June 4th museum in a commercial building in Mongkok. The first ever June 4th museum was closed down 3 years ago after the building's property owners filed lawsuits. The next song that they're going to sing is Bloodstained Glory.
30年前嘅天安門廣場上邊，學生爭取自由民主，血染的風采係佢哋其中一首喺廣場上邊成日唱嘅歌嚟鼓舞士氣。經過咗1989年6月中共嘅大屠殺之後，呢首歌被附上一個新嘅意義。
This is Bloodstained Glory. It's a Mandarin song dating from before 1989. It was written for soldiers in the Sino-Vietnamese War of 1979, but it took on a new meaning during the student protests with its references to the blood-stained flag of the People's Republic.
高舉我哋代表良知嘅燭光，維園嘅燭光，今晚將會照耀整個中國大陸，為內地嘅維權人士、天安門母親群體帶嚟咗溫暖。呢條民主路雖然難行，但係我哋一定會繼續堅持落去。
And this is Bloodstained Glory, a patriotic song from the People's Republic before 1989 that took on a new meaning upon the student protests in 1989, given its references to blood-stained flag of the People's Republic, talks about sacrifices, talks about kids and children who will never come back. And this is Bloodstained Glory. And that was Bloodstained Glory, a mainland Chinese Mandarin song dating from before 1989 that took on a new meaning during the student protests in Beijing that year. What's going to happen next is a speech by Li Lanju, who was a survivor of the massacre, who was actually a Hong Konger who went to Beijing in 1989 and was also even taken to hospital in Beijing during the protests. And she was a former journalist, and she will now speak before the candlelight vigil in Victoria Park.
受傷嘅群眾，李蘭谷至今仍然都記得一位女醫生曾經同佢講過：你要安全咁返到去香港，因為你需要將呢一切話俾全世界知道。李蘭谷一直都守住呢個承諾，喺海外堅持參與民運嘅工作。今晚佢都專登搭飛機返到嚟香港，同我哋一齊去到説出真相。
So this is Miss Lee, a survivor of the massacre. She was a Hong Konger who went to Beijing in 1989 to support the student protests. She was even taken to hospital.
作為天安門嘅幸存者，為六四屠殺做見證，向來都係責無旁貸。
As a survivor of the massacre, as a witness, we have a responsibility to tell the world of the massacre. But after the umbrella movement, I felt After the umbrella movement, I felt slightly disappointed because of how the authorities acted. And this has really affected my mental health. I've had to rely on doctors and medication. So when the Hong Kong Alliance asked me if I wanted to witness, if I want to speak about what I witnessed in the 1989 massacre again, I initially refused. But after the Occupy Central trio was sentenced to imprisonment, I picked up the courage, and I needed to have the courage to do the right thing at the right time. I will take another step, as many steps as I could. In Toronto, when I was in Toronto, I had always supported the promotion of democracy in China when I was in Toronto, and we encountered so many unimaginable difficulties. But every time we fought back to the candles in Victoria Park, we stayed strong and we carried on. Hong Kong is not just a commercial society. Each one of your candles in your hands right now are lighting up the name of Hong Kongers throughout the world. The true spirit of Hong Kong is seen in the candles at Victoria Park today. Today, we are here to commemorate the dead in June 4th, but we must insist on vindicating June 4th, because this does not only record the brutality of the Chinese Communist Party, but it shows also how shameless they are in lying. Tonight, I wish for everybody to remember these people. In 1989, on June 3rd, around 9 p.m., the Hong Kong Federation of Students in Beijing prepared to go from a hotel in Beijing to Tiananmen Square. When we were at the hotel lobby, many reporters from Hong Kong told us that we could not go to Tiananmen Square because they received reliable sources information that the military was about to clear the scene in Tiananmen Square. But we felt at the time that we had to advance with the students in Beijing because we were part of them. So we went to Tiananmen Square around 10 p.m. Everything seemed quiet. But all of a sudden, the students reported, all of a sudden, I saw a boy come up to me and cry that they are really shooting at people at unarmed citizens. A student next to me had been shot. I am now giving you his bloodied clothes to show you proof that the soldiers are really killing their way into Tiananmen Square. What should we do? The boy asked. So the headquarters of the students asked for a vote. What should they do? The majority of students said that they wanted to stay in the square, that there was nothing they could do because they could no longer retreat any further. And at this point, more students formed teams and tried to obstruct the People's Liberation Army moving into Tiananmen Square. And we, the Hong Kong Federation of Students, decided to join in their ranks. But when we moved to the History Museum in Beijing, we found that the troops had moved from roads and they were really forming into formations with real guns and ammunitions. But in front of them, many Beijing citizens and students formed a human wall to block them. Because I saw that the soldiers in front of me were relatively self-disciplined, I thought I saw hope. But not long later, I saw a message above Tiananmen Square sent out by the troops, and I saw many dead and injured taken to a first aid station next to me. A young worker took sticks and stones to try and protect the students. But a student told the workers that we were here to protest peacefully, so put down your weapons. An old person tried to tell everybody to put down your weapons. Put down your weapons because we cannot have any excuse, we cannot give the Chinese Communist Party any excuse to tell us, to call us rioters. So we put down our weapons. But the soldiers fired more information shots, information messages above the skyline of Tiananmen Square. And we started hearing gunfire. And behind a row of trees, I saw a secondary school student wanting to rush out into the troops. He was shouting, my brother had just been killed, and he wanted to attack the soldiers. So I dragged him back, and he said, don't do that, it's dangerous. And the young kid whose brother had just been killed collapsed in front of me, crying like he was an old person. And ambulance suddenly arrived, and the young lad chased the ambulance. And after around half an hour, somebody told me that this little kid that I had just met had been brought back to the first aid station completely bloodied. And I shivered upon hearing this news. I couldn't stand it any longer. I was dizzy, I wanted to vomit. So students took me to the first aid station. And I saw one university student who was shot in the back of his neck. It was bloody, completely bloodied. It was a mess, but he was screaming and shouting. He was saying that we will persevere till the very end, even though he was shot. And an ambulance, the sirens of the ambulance kept wailing and rushing between the first aid stations and the hospital. And an ambulance arrived at the first aid station. And suddenly somebody screamed, Hong Kong students, go onto the ambulance. And I said in reply, nothing happened to us. We'll stay in the square. We don't need to go to the hospital. A second ambulance arrived. More people arrived and screamed, students from Hong Kong, please go onto the ambulance. We rejected their offers. So a female doctor took my hand and consoled me and said, young child, you need to go to the ambulance. You need to leave Tiananmen Square. You need to be safe and go back to Hong Kong. You need to go back to Hong Kong and tell the world what happened tonight. You need to tell the world safe and sound. You need to tell the world how the government treats us. So I went on the ambulance and I left Tiananmen Square after that female doctor told me to. For over 30 years, I told myself to remember every single detail, every single expression on the face of the people, their voices, their sweat, their tears, and I even remembered the body temperature when they passed away. But I don't know their names. I never knew their names. Their only names were labeled by the Communist parties. The Communist Party labeled them as rioters. Those were their only names that I knew. But those were not their names. Their true names were the global citizens of 1989. Their true names were shown by what their deeds did in the world. They're a part of the people who, in 1989, put down the Berlin Wall in East Berlin.
30年過後，世界各地嘅傳媒仍然繼續喺度關注呢一場未有完結嘅民主運動。
For 30 years, the global media has never stopped giving attention to this never-ending democratic movement. So today, in the name of humanity, in the name of global citizens, in the name of our conscience, we pledge never to forget. We pledge to reject lies. And today, before God, under the principle that all humans are equal, for the human rights that God has given us, for the human dignity that God has given me, we need to reject darkness and choose light. That was Miss Lee, a survivor of the massacre, a Hong Konger who went to Beijing in 1989 and witnessed the massacre in front of her very eyes. So the alliance, the organizers of the vigil tonight, have just announced that all 6 concrete pitches in Victoria Park are full. The alliance has just announced that all 6 concrete football pitches in Victoria Park today are full. That represents, we don't have turnout figures yet, but that represents a large turnout, for sure.
香港除咗有學生親身去到北京運送物資之外，喺香港有一班演藝人舉辦咗長達12個鐘頭嘅民主歌聲獻中華，聲援呢一場運動。今年係六四30週年，為咗紀念六四30週年，當年有份參與民主歌聲獻中華嘅達明一派創作咗一首新歌《回憶有罪》，用記憶對抗極權，引起我哋嘅共鳴。跟住落嚟，我哋有請黃耀明為我。
What we will now listen to it's a new song by Anthony Wong of Tatming Pair, who is sort of Hong Kong's 1980 dancer to Wham and George Michael. This is a new 30th anniversary song for the Tiananmen Square massacre. Anthony Wong is very outspoken for the democratic movements in Hong Kong and in China. He says, for 30 years, I have always been like you on the grass, on the concrete football pitches on Victoria Park, and I've never been on this stage before. Because I'm not someone who's used to going on to street rallies and protests and chanting slogans. Why do I have to come up to the stage today? Because I feel that one country, 2 systems is being gradually eliminated. The movement of 1989 inspired us, inspired the umbrella movement. What we are gathered here to do is to prevent the monster that killed people in Tiananmen Square 30 years ago from killing people also in Hong Kong, in Admiralty, in Mongkok. We don't want the monster of Tiananmen Square to haunt our new generation as well. I'm not someone patriotic. Just like as John Lennon said, Just like John Lennon said in his song, imagine a place without nationalities, without religion. And just like the people of Germany telling themselves not to repeat the atrocities of the Nazi regime, we have to remind ourselves that we are that close to courage and to love. And this is a new song for the 30th anniversary of the Tiananmen Square massacre, called It's a Crime to Remember. Wong is also calling for Hong Kongers to attend the June 9th protest against the extradition bill. Let's listen to the song.
問天，怎允許摧毀信念？好當像為了被懷念。現在別問他，可有膽公開紀念？被現實騎劫怎怨天？如燭光都有罪。將暗黑多幾十年，如傷疤都有靈未變裂。回憶即使有罪，真相怎麼敢冒言？歷史假使有人竟被發現。再若問他，可悔當天走太遲，道路腐壞了，不敢涉險。現在若問我，怎會這麼想紀念？烈焰還滅過，總有意。如燭光都有罪。將暗黑多幾十年，如傷疤都有靈未變裂。回憶即使有罪，真相怎麼敢冒言？歷史假使有人竟被發現，皇天不必答辯，只怕蒼生很茫然。後土不知冷熱，生滅無裂。歷史只懂向前，輾轉反側30年。如今滄桑少年，莫問蒼天。若舉傘，為誰命運祭奠？廣場上。這麼多告別，莫須有，是誰造就壯烈？願廣場上聲音不會滅。
That was Anthony Wong with his new song, It's a Crime to Remember. He's a member of the outspoken
回憶係歷
group
史，
Tatming Pair.
有一班人時時刻刻都為歷史寫上初稿。30年前89民運，中共血腥屠殺，歷年嚟民運人士天安門母親嘅遭遇，都係由記者親眼睇到、親耳聽到之後話俾我哋知嘅。昔日佢哋跑嘅新聞。
Next up in this candlelit vigil is a video from a journalist who covered the student protests in Beijing in 1989.
成為我哋同子孫後代嘅歷史，印證住我哋堅持到底，公理終會勝過強權。跟住落嚟，我哋會播放我是記者短片，並由30年前喺北京採訪過民運嘅程翔同麥燕婷同我哋分享。
This is a video from two journalists, Ching Cheng and Mak Yin-ting, who covered the Beijing student protests in 1989.
我嗰陣時喺亞洲本身係做記者啦。文匯報嘅社長李志忠先生覺得未能夠阻止到共產黨屠殺民眾，佢非常之自責，好內疚。我聽到一位老先生咁樣嘅説話，不其然咁樣潸然落淚。
大家都二話不說，想去嗰啲咧就出發㗎啦。咁我嗰時好多記者證嘅，我馬上將所有記者證咧就掛晒喺個身上。問起上嚟你係邊個？我係記者嚟嘅。
無線嗰個女記者佢話 ：This guy is crazy。有個人擋住個坦克車，
成個廣場一收咧，我哋走唔到，走唔甩係咩後果？係純粹拉咗啊，抑或死咗啊，抑或連帶都唔見埋，乜都唔知。
成排都係軍隊，我哋仲想行埋，突然間開槍。我同我同事兩個麻甩佬拖住手，掉轉頭走。
咁我都差啲中彈嘅。到佢一熄燈嘅時候，佢隨時要毀屍滅跡嘅話，佢就會消滅我㗎啦。所以嗰陣時我先至寫低我嘅遺書。我揾唔到呢一度留落嚟，我仲可能生存嘅希望。
所以當時咧，黃振就話：你要攞政權啊，你攞2000萬條命同我交換啦咁樣。即係佢喐下佢就講，即係殺人死人。
我走咗去協和醫院，我喺露天嘅地方，好震撼。我見到好多肢體，我見到屍搭屍。
唔見啲解放軍衝入嚟開槍。當你要經歷嗰一次嗰陣時，你就會諗起嗰啲槍聲，嗰啲槍聲，你聽到個槍聲，嗰粒子彈嚟喺邊咧？
冇遇到人話要推翻呢個嘅黨啊，又或者要做咩行動，反而咧係無數咁多個小市民，佢哋會俾水我哋啦，又或者話行開，俾香港嘅記者採訪。
中國人嘅國運歷史上嘅進程咧，都係一個大倒退。六四開槍咧，亦都係製造咗一個歷史嘅條件，使到咧係習近平咧公開地咧推銷呢個所謂中國模式，用一個極權嘅方法嚟到鎮壓人民。
89民運喺中國嚟講可以話係失敗，喺促進蘇聯東歐解體呢度咧係起咗一啲間接嘅作用。
而家都仲要重提，因為當年呢件事仲未完結咯。即係你可以去鬧人哋，批評日本政府佢哋對待南京大屠殺呢個咁樣嘅態度。咁你自己又係用乜嘢嘅態度去正視64呢件事？我覺得呢個係今時今日執政嘅人係需要好好咁樣去反思嘅。無線電視嘅記者啦，
北京辦事處下晝電視嘅新聞報導組做記者，白色半日刊報做記者啦，採訪。星島日報記者。
頭先黃耀明嘅歌詞有一句話：真相怎麼敢無言？我哋見證真相嘅一群記者，當然唔能夠收聲。
That was just a video from a group of journalists who covered the student protests in 1989. This is journalist Mak Yin-ting. She says, in Tiananmen Square that night, the soldiers did shoot and people did die. The tanks did roll over people and the soldiers did shoot unarmed civilians. The number of casualties is not like the Chinese government once said, only 23 people. The truth, we don't know yet, but we have to continue talking about the massacre. 30 years on, we wish to tell this truth to the younger generation in some new ways, and we hope that this truth will continue to be passed down from the generations. But many people want a monopoly on the truth, including the authorities, including the military. So the Chinese defense minister just only a couple of days ago said that the Tiananmen protest was a riot. He said that the shooting of civilians was correct. It's unfortunate that the communist government is continuing to say these things and continuing to say these things in Hong Kong as well. And we know that a lot of people want to rewrite history. And to Mr. Ching-chung, you know this as well. Why do we want to produce this book called I Am a Journalist? Because we saw for the past 30 years that the authorities are talking absolute nonsense. They said, first of all, that nobody was killed in Tiananmen Square, and the Taiwanese singer Hou Dejian, who was at the square, rebukes that account. Next, the authorities said that the crackdown was necessary because it was necessary for economic development. So we want to ask whether your stability and economic prosperity is built on blood of others. And next, the authorities said that it's been 30 years. Why don't we let it go and look forward? We do look forward, but on the foundation that you, the Communist Party, need to plead guilty, you need to face accountability and responsibility for what you did in order for us to mediate with you. And next, the authority says that these 30 years of development have proved what happened 30 years ago correct. So we say in reply, why didn't you keep conducting massacres in order to prove yourselves further correct? We say that it's all a way of trying to create stability, trying to create harmony. And a lot of people in Hong Kong now actually believe these lies as truth. We see some new organizations springing up saying that nobody died in June 4th. These lies have been created for 30 years. So even 30 years later, we have an even greater responsibility as journalists to come out and speak and tell the truth to what happened and give truthful written accounts of what happened. So we hope that this book, this new book, I Am a Journalist, will really tell the people what happened. And through this book, we want to reject the authorities' lies. Reporters are witnesses of history, but they are not the writers of history. It is you, everybody in the scene today, everybody in the candlelit vigil today, who are the writers of history. In 1990, 150,000 people turned up at this candlelit vigil. You wrote history. Some people are saying that this ceremony has become repetitive.
係一個當年好細個跟爸爸媽媽嚟維園悼念嘅一個歷史教師許華恒寫嘅，佢用佢嘅筆寫咗一個歷史出嚟。咁所以我好相信你哋先至係歷史嘅。
But we believe truly that you all in the crowd today are the true writers of history. We hope that on June 9th at the extradition bill protests, you will write a new page of history. We want you all to turn up to write a new page of history so that we don't have to live in fear in the future, so that we can continue writing our own history in the future. And for us journalists to record these histories. Thank you very much.
人心不死，燭光不滅，就係因為我哋冇放棄到追逐公義同埋自由。每年嘅今日，呢度依然係一片燭海。喺緊握住燭光嘅呢一刻，我哋都要緊握住我哋最珍惜嘅自由。接下落嚟，我哋一齊唱自由花，永遠堅守真理，永遠追尋理想。
The next song to be sung is called The Flower of Freedom. It's a classic in the candlelit vigil. It's been written since the 1990s and sung since the 1990s. And it talks about how the flower of freedom will blossom no matter how hard the rain beats down. This is The Flower of Freedom.
心中深處始終也記憶那年那夕，曾經痛惜，年月裏轉化為力，一點真理，一個理想，永遠地尋覓，悠悠長長繼續前行，不懂去驚怕，荊荊棘棘通通斬去，不必多看它，浮浮沉沉昨日人群，雖不說一話。不想清楚分析太多，真心亦是假，但有一個夢不會死，記着吧，無論雨怎麼打，自由仍是會開花，但有一個夢不會死，記着吧，來自你我的心，記着吧。忘不了的，留下了不死意識，深深相信始終會變真，某年某夕，如此訊息，仍賴你跟我全力，加一把勁，將這理想繼續再尋覓，悠悠長長繼續前行，不懂去驚怕，荊荊棘棘通通斬去，不必多看它。浮浮沉沉昨日人群，雖不說一話，不想清楚分析太多，真心亦是假，但有一個夢不會死，記着吧，無論雨怎麼打，自 由仍是會開花。但有一個夢不會死，記着吧，來自你我的心，記着吧。但有一個夢不會死，記着吧，無論雨怎麼打，自由仍是會開花。但有一個夢不會死，記着吧，來自你我的心，記着吧。但有一個夢不會死，記着吧，無論雨怎麼打，自由仍是會開花。但有一個夢不會死，記着吧，來自你我的心，記着吧。但有一個夢不會死，記着吧，無論雨怎麼打，自由仍是會開花。但有一個夢不會死，記着吧，來自你我的心，記着吧。
釋放民運人士，
釋放民運人士，
平反89民運，
平反89民運。
That was Flower of Freedom, a classic protest song from Hong Kong written in the 1990s. The next speaker will be Reverend Yiu-ming. He was one of the three initiators of the Occupy Central, which morphed into the Umbrella Movement. Large street protests in Hong Kong in 2014. And in 1989, Reverend Chu was involved in Operation Yellowbird, the Hong Kong-based movement to rescue wanted student leaders after the crackdown in Tiananmen Square. As part of Operation Yellowbird, he rescued students across the border to Hong Kong and sent them to asylum elsewhere in the world. But for now, the Alliance is talking about the case in mainland China a few years ago where some dissidents created a bottle of wine called Bajio, Liu Si, and which referenced the June 4th, 1989, and were arrested for creating this bottle of wine.
89嘅傷痛仍然未被撫平，佢讓無數嘅家庭希望破滅，並且長期生活喺思念嘅極度痛苦之中。回望歷史，對當時嘅事件黑白是非嘅判斷，我以為係唔需要太高深嘅知識，而面對佢係需要智慧、良知同埋勇氣。呢次走案，我只係用一個形式。我哋89嘅一群人並冇忘記到歷史，亦都冇忘記到付出咗生命嘅群眾。最後引用詩句表達我對堅守嘅理由。歷史總是忍耐地等待着被侮辱者的勝利，對此我深信不疑。
889民運最終係喺一片鮮血落幕。當時有一班香港人憑住良知同埋勇氣，將超過300名嘅民運人士秘密送走。朱耀明牧師係黃雀行動中其中一名。
The Alliance is now introducing Reverend Yiu-ming, who was one of the main people involved in Hong Kong's Operation Yellowbird, to the movement to rescue wanted student leaders after the crackdown in Tiananmen Square across the border and send them to asylum. Of course, Reverend Chu was one of the free initiators also of Occupy Central. His two co-initiators, Benny Tai and Chan Kin-man, were sentenced to 16 months jail last month.
佢所經歷嘅痛苦，佢所見到嘅死難者，隱藏在佢心裏邊30年。
It's been 30 years since the Tiananmen Square massacre. And what can we say about it now?
有位作家，佢曾經講：佢話我請為我心靈。
There's an author who once wrote, "Please light up a candle for my soul, because I really want to have light." Because the darkness, the night is very frightening. There's a Nobel laureate and survivor of concentration camp, Elie Wiesel, who once said that I will never forget that night, the first night that I was in the concentration camp. I was only 15 years old. And he saw many little kids being taken into the gas chambers, into the crematoriums, and turn into smoke in the sky. And we, as to us, we have never forgotten also the night of June 3rd, 1989. We've never forgotten the machine guns that killed people, that killed unarmed civilians in Tiananmen Square on that night. We never forgot the tanks that steamrolled over the bodies of people. These were unarmed civilians. These were the next generation. The survivor of the Holocaust, Elie Wiesel, when he received the Nobel Peace Prize, he mentioned a little child who, when he found out about the Holocaust, he asked, was it really true? Because we're living in the 20th century, not the medieval times. Why does the world allow atrocities like this? Why does the world stay silent? The child asked his father, what will you do for our future? And this father replied, I will try my best to preserve memories, to make sure that memories still live. I will struggle with those people who want to forget, because if we forget, we sin. We become accomplices if we forget. So I pledge, so long as someone suffers and is humiliated, I have to speak out. We have to choose to take a side, and we cannot just be neutral, because being neutral will only assist those who abuse and will not help those people who suffer. When someone suffers, we have to stand up and resist. We are in a world that continues to suffer injustices daily. So long as one just person stands up and speaks out, there will be a hope for justice. For example, with Martin Luther King, he stood up for civil rights, and this has been largely achieved. I went to visit the French diplomats who supported those who sought asylum during the 1989 Tiananmen Massacre. They were willing to sign papers for them to leave Hong Kong and seek asylum in France. They were willing to put their careers on the line for what they believed in, and allowed many people to leave China, to leave Hong Kong for a new life. So today, so long as we see people with different political views, dissidents in prison, we don't have true freedom. For this reason, we need to have faith, and we need to have courage to take up action. Even if the government creates fear, we cannot be afraid. We need to have faith, and we need to have courage to take action. And struggle against an unjust government through our own love and peace. And any unjust regime will fall under the footsteps of its own people. That was Reverend Yiu-ming, one of the 3 initiators of Occupy Central, and the only one to stay free, to not be imprisoned last month following the sentence. The next song that's going to be sung is Democracy Will Prevail. It's another recent protest song originating from Hong Kong.
黑眼睛觀看歷史哀怨跌宕。 日光，正義藏在星宿背後。誰在笑？長夜伴着罪惡放蕩，萬劫不改的眼光，拿着大鮮血罪狀，用最好看的筆告狀。哪怕像螳螂橫着臂，對坦克猶如煉鋼，為國家我捨身去擋。光夕陽在催促要靠岸，風有聲，聽默想怎去破浪。人或暗信年如舊清澈恬靜，寒或暖赤了，但滲流過血汗。萬勸不改的國邦，拿着鐵腕與慾望，磨了罪惡的刀對望。你已在悠悠長夜裏，習慣宰殺與暴漢，忘掉地獄的火有多燙。民主會戰勝歸來，民主會戰勝歸來，白髮斑斑情義深似海。若花石仍殘存着愛，一刻把佔的青苔，普天蓋蓋不住世代。民主會戰勝歸來，民主會戰勝歸來，後有巨浪承接這變改。若世上仍流傳着愛，即使軟禁鬥室內，我自由與天地同在。
希望大家可以舉起你哋嘅燭光。萬劫不改的眼光，拿着大鮮血罪狀，用最好看的筆告狀。我插下和平旗幟，我只佔成為號角，狼與化互勇於四方。民主會戰勝歸來，民主會戰勝歸來，白髮斑斑情義深似海。若花石仍殘存着愛，一刻霸佔的青苔，普天蓋蓋不住世代。民主會戰勝歸來，民主會戰勝歸來，後有巨浪承接這變改。若世上仍流傳着愛，即使軟禁鬥室內，我自由與天地同在。民主會戰勝歸來，民主會戰勝歸來，白髮斑斑情義深似海。若沙石仍殘存着愛，一刻霸佔的青苔，普天蓋蓋不住世代。民主會戰勝歸來，民主會戰勝歸來，後有巨浪承接這變改。若世上仍流傳着愛，即使軟禁鬥室內，我自由與天地同在，我自由與生命同在。
That was Democracy Will Prevail, a protest song originating from Hong Kong around 5 or 6 years ago. That was first released. So the chairman of the Hong Kong Alliance, Albert Ho, is going to read out a statement for the candlelit vigil tonight.
各位，根據我哋嘅估算，
According to our estimates,
今晚六四燭光集會嘅人數係超過18萬人。
over 180,000 people have turned out
Estimation,
to the vigil today.
more than 180,000 people attend tonight candlelight vigil. 根据我们的估算，今天晚上有超过18万群众参与。
This estimate of over 180,000 people attending the vigil tonight possibly makes it the most attended vigil at least since 2014, the year of the Umbrella Movement, where also 180,000 people attended. So just to repeat, the Hong Kong Alliance has just announced that over 180,000 people have attended the vigil tonight at Victoria Park.
發生嘅89民運，悼念六四被屠殺嘅死難者。我哋藉此追思100年前嘅五四運動，回顧人民為民主所作出嘅奮鬥。89民運始於反貪腐、反官倒嘅訴求，繼而發展到爭取民主改革嘅運動。89民運中所追求嘅民主理想同埋表現出嘅抗爭精神，確實係五四精神嘅延續。五四運動、89民運，以至到劉曉波先生推動嘅08憲章運動，係彰顯住中國人民綿綿不絕、生生不息咁樣追求民主、爭取自由嘅抗爭意志同埋精神。人民對民主嘅理想被暴政嘅烈火燒之不盡，但係春風吹又生。89呢場波瀾壯闊、可歌可泣嘅民主運動，人民係絕對不會忘記，因為呢一場運動牽動住中國人同埋我哋香港人嘅心靈。當年之事歷歷在目，並不如煙。30年前嘅今夜，喺槍彈橫飛、血濺街頭之際，北京市民以死掩護住在場嘅學生同埋記者，聲淚俱下咁樣哀求。佢哋話：你哋香港人要快啲安全咁離開，將今晚所見到嘅一切如實咁樣告知全世界。我哋知道屠殺人民嘅政權係會喺施暴之後毀屍滅跡。施暴者一方面會用極權消滅記憶，另一方面會向外編造謊言，否認暴行。香港市民緊記住內地同胞當夜對我哋嘅祝福，絕不敢忘記。30年嚟，我哋憑藉住僅有嘅自由，為大陸被滅聲嘅人民發聲，為被消失嘅屠殺事實，我哋維護歷史嘅真相。呢啲就係我哋堅持嘅良心事業，直至到89民運得到證明，施暴者得到應有嘅制裁，6四死難者、幸存者同埋受難者嘅家屬得到應有嘅道歉同埋賠償。呢啲係我哋香港人義不容辭、堅決承擔嘅歷史使命同埋公民責任。我哋係悼念6四燭光嘅集會呢方面創下本地群眾歷史嘅紀錄，為人民歷史、人民嘅文明史留下一項偉績。我哋深信 喺暴政下保持沉默嘅人，會喺沉默中慢慢喪失佢嘅自由，甚至會喺沉默中消失。香港人面對住暴政，我哋爭取民主、自由同埋公義，我哋絕不會沉默。我哋行使住集會示威嘅基本人權，呢啲係我哋無權者嘅權利。我哋會持續抗爭，絕不放棄。獨裁者嘅政權喺鎮壓30年之後，並沒有停止佢嘅獨裁。習近平時代更係前所未有咁樣高壓管治。我哋要為內地被滅聲嘅無權者發聲，否則我哋會唔會成為暴政者嘅幫兇？今日專政嘅魔爪一直不斷咁樣伸展嚟到香港，近日更要喺香港強行通過逃犯修訂條例，企圖摧毀香港嘅法治，威脅港人嘅人身安全。為我哋香港嘅未來，我哋一定要抗爭到底！
抗爭到底！
抗爭到底！
抗爭到底
！30年嚟，我哋悼念6·4反專制、5·4·89嘅民主精神同埋抗爭嘅意志，同埋我哋30年嚟民主抗爭嘅努力，係一脈相承、貫徹始終。我哋係站在歷史公義嘅一面，我哋順應住民主自由嘅歷史大潮流，所以我哋堅信6·4必會得到平反，專政必會結束，民主必會實現。只要堅持下去，民主公義必勝。人民不會忘記，
人民不會忘記，
平反6·4，
平反6·4，
公義必勝，
公義必勝，
釋放民運人士，
釋放民運人士，
平反89民運，
平反89民運，
追究屠城責任，
追究屠城責任，
結束一黨專政，
結束一黨專政，
建設民主中國，
建設民主中國，
平反6·4，
平反6·4，
公義必勝，
公義必勝。
而家火化吊唁冊，以祭6·4死難同胞在天之。
And that was just now Albert Ho, the chair of the Hong Kong Alliance of Patriotic Democratic Movements in China. So just to repeat, the Hong Kong Alliance has just announced that over 180,000 people turned up at the candlelit vigil tonight. This equals to the record turnout ever for the candlelit vigil in 2012 and 2014, which was also 180,000 people. On the other hand, the police have also estimated that only 37,000 people have turned out to the vigil tonight. So this discrepancy is quite expected, but it's a very wide discrepancy from the two sources. So right now, the Alliance are going to burn the Book of Condolences to the deceased in the flames that they've lit earlier this evening, which is part of the ceremony that they always conduct.
願各位不必悲憤，莫悲憤。6·4那一夜，目睹軍去後，令我獨含恨。就算未如願，大志仍在身。高舉大家的中國！我共你是同路，我當天當值，像你一般痛苦，身困於此處，沒法與君一起並肩上，我亦無詞說短長。還願各位不必悲憤，莫悲憤。6·4那一夜，目睹軍去後，令我獨含恨。就算未如願，大志仍在身。就算是無奈，就算未如願，大志仍在身。平反6·4，平反6·4，追究屠城，追究屠城，結束一黨專政，結束一黨專政。民主中國，建設民主中國，平反6·4，平反6·4，公義必勝，公義必勝。咁我哋而家代表支聯會有重要嘅宣佈，蔡昌。首先呢，好多謝超過18萬嘅市民。
The Alliance thanks the over 180,000 people who have turned up to today's rally. After this candlelit vigil, 5 organizations are organizing a rally to the China Liaison Office in Saiwan. They hope that people will turn up to this later march to the China Liaison Office tonight. And they call on people to turn up to the anti-extradition bill rally as well on June 9th. We condemn this authoritarian regime that massacred its own people and creates an atmosphere of fear towards its own people. Everybody has the basic right to not live in fear, but the proposed extradition bill is to make us all live in fear. So we should all come out on June 9th and show the government what we're made of. See you all at the central lawn of Victoria Park on June 9th. We will gather at 2:30 in the afternoon because we all deserve the freedom to live not in fear. See you all at Victoria Park.
All people of Hong Kong to come on June 9th to Victoria Park, the grass pitch, and together we will march for Hong Kong. We don't want to be ruled by fear. We want rule of law, not ruled by fear. Please come to the march, June 9th, 2:30 at Victoria Park. Thank you.
守護歷史，不僅係今晚，我哋亦都希望新一代知道六四嘅真相。支聯會幾經艱辛重設六四紀念館，而家嘅場地喺旺角道11至13號魏旺商業大廈嘅十字樓，希望各位市民都一齊帶同你嘅。
The Alliance also encourages people to visit its new June 4th museum at number 10 to 13 Mongkok Road. It's a commercial building in Mongkok at the 10th floor, and it's the second ever museum after the first one was closed 3 years ago after disputes with property owners.
我哋嘅六四紀念館，我哋未來嘅工作，多謝大家。
And the Hong Kong Alliance thanks each of the participants tonight. And it also thanks the volunteers that participated tonight, especially those who have begun volunteering for over 30 years.
支聯會義工組或者參加支聯會嘅青年組，大家可以填妥有關嘅資料或者係俾個電郵我哋，一齊繼續撐落去。
咁我哋高舉我哋燭光，多謝我哋啲義工好冇？多謝佢哋嚇，多謝所有人，多謝大家同我哋撐足30年，多謝大家義工，亦都係希望大家可以參加我哋支聯會義工嘅行列。因為我聽到啲義工講，佢哋最想見到嘅係多啲人一齊加入義工嘅行列。多謝大家。
今日我哋嘅集會係去到尾聲，我希望大家臨走之前都可以幫手清理一下身邊嘅蠟燭嘅灰痕，同埋幫手，如果係大家有能力幫手幫我哋搬張鐵馬。去球場嘅兩邊，草地嘅鐵馬都搬埋一邊，咁你都可以幫我哋拆咗一啲嘅普通嘅橫額。仲有我哋都響應環保，喺出口嘅兩邊，包括銅鑼灣同埋天后嗰邊，都設置咗啲環保嘅回收箱。
So the Hong Kong Alliance has just announced that the candlelit vigil tonight is about to end. So just to recap, the Alliance announced that over 180,000 people turned up to the candlelit vigil today, which makes it equal to the record turnout ever for the candlelit vigil. The previous records in 2012 and 2014 also saw 180 people turn up to the vigil. Police, however, only gave an estimate of 37,000, which marks a very wide discrepancy. Thank you all for joining Hong Kong Free Press's live feed of the 30th anniversary of the Tiananmen Square Massacre tonight. We hope you have found this useful. And see you all, and please, if you found this useful, please consider donating to Hong Kong Free Press on the links on Facebook, on Twitter, and on our website. Thank you all, and see you all next time.